Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Games Talk Live podcast. It's great to be here. We've got a guest tonight, as well as my co-host every week, Hargeet. How have you been, my friend?
I'm good. Busy, but good.
Nice. I'm sure Crimson Desert still?
The little that I get to play, I've played in Crimson Desert, though I'm getting to the point where I might just quit it. I'm like not enjoying it.
Yeah, so it's kind of turning into a Ubisoft game for you?
I mean, Ubisoft games are more like fleshed out. I don't know how to put it. Like it's the formula is so well done that they actually know how to make it work. I just find this game that just is more frustrating than it is fun, and I'm like, meh. So it's okay. That's kind of how I'm like taking it this so far. I'm on like chapter 9 or something, but I'm like, I just like a lot of the things are just like frustratingly stupid, and I'm like, okay, this is I when it gets to the point where it's like I'm not enjoying the game, I'm close to the point of like, yeah, bye, move on, next. Too many things to play.
There is a lot to play. Holly, welcome back. That Blue Number's with us again tonight. How have you been? What have you been playing?
I haven't been playing a lot, but when I have been playing, it's been Arc Raiders. There was a new wipe this week, and so just kind of having fun with all of the gear that I did have that I no longer have. Rest in peace, awesome loot that I used to have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Life has been very busy, and not to be a super downer, but my aunt died like 10 minutes before we started the show.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm kind of like,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You could have canceled on the show. Like,
I
understand if you have to leave.
No, it's okay. It's just kind of one of those like process, like, okay, all right, here we go.
Yeah, but, I'm sorry for your loss, though.
Thanks. It's fine. But life has been very, very just kind of busy on the whole. But I do love myself a good Arc Raiders.
Arc
Raiders is awesome.
Well, we're here for you for sure. Yeah, and the whole chat is here for you as well. Hopefully they cheer you up tonight. But yeah, look, Hargeet, Holly, she won't even take invites anymore to party chats or anything. She just
maybe Hargeet, maybe you know,
she ignores us
how to fix this. I get no pop-ups. Like the Xbox Game Bar chat. Like I get no party invites. I get nothing
PC.
Over my game. Sometimes I do, most times I don't. So then I'll pick up my phone a couple hours later and I'll see like 4 missed party invites, and I'm like, I had no idea. And I don't know if it's only related because I have Arc Raiders on Epic Game Store. But then when I feel like when I've played Crimson Desert, which I own on Steam, it works. And I don't launch any of them through the actual Xbox app. I just launch them through the actual launcher. So I don't like both of them. I do that. So I don't know if I launched a game through the Xbox launcher, if that would help. It's kind of different though, right? It's not the Game Bar. It's a different thing. So I don't know.
I'm wondering if your notifications go to sleep when you're playing a game through Epic or something like that. That's just a Windows setting.
That it would only do it on Epic and not Steam.
Yeah, it could be that it's just telling it to shut down, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. Game Bar's trash. Anyway. We all know it's trash. It's been trash for a long time. I was just in a party chat with somebody, and it was hard to even get into the invite. Like, it crashed on me. I had to when I did get back in, I had to change my audio, even though I don't change my audio on a regular basis. Like, everything should be the same. But even if you have it on default, sometimes it doesn't work. It's really weird. But that's the way it is. For me this week, I've been playing some Diablo 4 still. I re-rolled the character. I got one to 70 plus, Paragon, but I decided to start another paladin, different character. I have a warlock in this season, but I started a paladin in this season. And already, like, by level 38, I was, like, much stronger than my warlock is at, like, 70. It's insane. But having a good time with that. Yeah, so can't wait for the PoE 2 update, though. That one looks incredible that's coming. Again, same type of genre, same type of game as Diablo, but I like that one. I prefer it over Diablo, even though I still like Diablo. I prefer PoE 2. So I'm looking forward to that. That's later this month, I believe. Aside from that, we can get into some topics here. What's up, everybody? I see you in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for giving your condolences and stuff to Holly. That's nice of you. It's awesome. So we should be here for it, man. All us gamers, be here for each other. Let's start off with something fun. Apparently, I'm not saying this. The CEO of freaking PlayStation, Hideki Nishino, called PlayStation, basically said PlayStation is just, this is the quote, I'm just reporting what I saw. PlayStation is just a plastic box without content. Now we can get into this situation, I guess. This was a interview, not with him, but with the VP of second and third party at Sony, Christian Svensson, and he was doing an interview with Game Business. And he just mentioned that they are very third party focused in that ecosystem. Then he mentioned that thing about Nishino saying PlayStation is just a plastic box without content. A third party holds the lion's share of the content on the platform, he went on to say. Hargeet, what do you think? What do you make of this? Because we were talking a little bit before the show, and I think you have an interesting take on this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it the same way. I think the point was that without the content, it's just a plastic box. And I think somehow people are thinking it's a plastic box without any content. That's obviously not true. There's plenty of games on PlayStation. That's just not the case. They have games. A lot of it's third party. That's fair. And I think that was the context that was being mentioned there. Maybe it's just lost in translation or something. But I think they were just saying, hey, look, we're trying to get content for our ecosystem. And without that content, what would be the point of the box, right? It's just a plastic box if it doesn't have the content. And that's totally correct. You buy these things to play games. That's literally the point, right? So, but I think it's being misconstrued as something different. I don't think they're saying they don't have games. I think they're saying that, like, without the games, there's no point of buying a PlayStation. And I agree. That's absolutely the point. You want to have games. So I don't see the controversy, but I think the title is very, sorry to say, but clickbaity. I don't think that's what they intended at all. But like I don't think they're saying that there's no games. I think they're saying without games, there's no PlayStation. And that's just a fact. That's obviously the case. I mean, that's the case for anything, right? You have to have games to play, otherwise why buy it? It's like, that just makes sense. So I don't know. I don't read it the same way, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do intend to say that the PlayStation has no games, which would be hilarious.
Yeah, that's
I don't think
kind of crazy. But the way these articles kind of formed it, like they were trying to make it look clickbaity and like, oh, they even say it's just a plastic box with no games, and it's like, okay. Holly, what say you on this? What do you think he meant here? What is it the same as Hargeet?
This is fanboy bait. That's what it is.
There you go.
It's console war cream. I don't know, man. It's
oh boy. Pause.
They pause. Clearly they're talking about second and third party games, not first, right? No console would survive without any second and third party games. Like that's just not how the industry would work. And I can't think of a scenario where somebody would spend the prices that they do for these consoles to just buy first party and have no access to anything else on them. It's just not a thing. So while I think could all sort of agree that first party for Sony this generation has been, a little lackluster compared to last gen. It's not really what they're talking about. Like Hargeet said, it's not what they're talking about. They're just talking about like you need games, you need to have good partnerships with these different game makers, with these different publishers in order to bring games to your platform and have them work. But then also Sony, we all know Sony's very good at bringing the bag, right? And buying timed exclusivity, right? So it's kind of important to listen to when they talk about partnerships like that, because obviously this guy that's talking, Christian or whatever his name was, like has very good relationships with these third-party companies, right? He knows what they want and how to get that game to come to them. And they know how to read which games are the ones to grab and pull onto their console. So that's it.
Yeah. It's funny. I thought we were going to have like a King David moment with Hargeet on this topic. And I thought he was just going to go all in, be such a fanboy on this. And shame on me for even thinking that, because see, this is why I tell people Hargeet is no dummy. And Hargeet thinks about this stuff. He's logical at the end of the day. It's funny to me when people are all just constantly just saying, oh, just Hargeet's a shill and he just shills for Xbox. He's been hard on Xbox lately. And look, he had a layup with this article, this clickbaity title, and he didn't take the bait. Didn't take it.
Nope.
That's
he's holding he's holding the card for later. He's like build up.
Yeah, this ain't it. That's what he said. This ain't it.
This ain't it.
LePedro 1983, thank you for the $4.99. He says Sony still made record profits even if the sales were down. Xbone down, PlayStation up. Oh, we'll get into those financials, and we'll get into some of the losses they're taking right now as well. And I'm not saying that as a fanboy. I'm saying that just as in reality. That's what's happening. Rachie 7361, member for 3 months. I appreciate you, Rachie. Says, hey, Xbox also knows how to get games too. They got Gunk.
The Gunk was a fun game.
I thought
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was.
It wasn't a 10 out of 10. Okay.
Oh, it wasn't a 10 out of 10. There you go. It wasn't a 10 out of 10
is
for sure.
Exclusive too, correct?
I think it's
isn't Replaced exclusive?
Is timed. I know it's in Game Pass.
Currently only on Xbox.
It's in Game Pass.
Pass. Yeah.
But I think it's only on Xbox and Steam. I don't think it's on anything else.
I think it's Steam and Xbox. Yeah. I think you're right.
So I got that one. Oh.
Mass produced said Hargeet is coming around. He's always been here. Hargeet's logic has always been here. That's why
I've always tried to be fair. I have fun with it. I totally have fun with things.
He does.
And I'll push back on stupid narratives out there. That I'll just do the reverse of those narratives. But when it comes to these kind of things, I try to be fair with PlayStation as well. So I don't know, whatever. We had Nintendo financials and PlayStation financials. And they were both, let's say, interesting.
Flexing a mega corpo's money. Elaborate. Cold classic Cage. Don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about the guy who, okay. Okay. LePedro. Yeah. Gotcha. So speaking of Sony's financials, we can get into a bit of that, Hargeet. How have they done last quarter? And just how well is Bungie doing? Let us know.
Well,
here's where you'll have fun.
Bungie. Yikes. So look, I think for the year they did okay. But there's some like negatives and some positives in the whole thing. For the quarter, things aren't looking as great. However, let's be fair. When they started the fiscal year, which starts in April of last year, they told us that PlayStation's console sales will go down. It's expected. It's close to the the end of its run. They're already at 93-ish million sold now. So they went down a bit. It went down 56, 54, 56%, something like that. From Q4 of last year to Q4 this year, right? So basically the January, February, March of 26 versus 25, they went down 56. I think it was 56% in console sales. But again, it's not unexpected, so I didn't see that as a major issue. The net operating income did go down quite a bit that quarter, which is kind of concerning, but hopefully it's something that's not much of a trend. But you have to, like, right at the end of that quarter, in I think it was the 27th of March, is when they announced the price increase, and that was going to go into effect in April. So April is not a part of this, right? So April is not a part of these financials, but there was a spike in console sales because people wanted to buy before on April 2nd, the day after April Fool's, when it went up. They wanted to buy at the lower price, right? So this includes that. So that's a little concerning that was after a bump. Maybe there'll be a bit more coming in the next quarter because they had that one day, April Fool's Day, that they had for the next quarter. But still, I would have expected a lot of those sales probably happened during that last quarter for that bump. I would expect it to go lower in this quarter because the prices have escalated up, and I don't know if there's enough of a demand. Saros isn't going to be the thing that pushes people to buy a PlayStation. There's going to be some anticipation for what was that?
Wolverine will, though.
But that's further down, right? Well, and that's fair. But also things like, I think this is the first year Madden goes current gen only. And so I think that's usually a summer game. So that might be a bump. So not this quarter, but next quarter, the July, August, September quarter, I could see it because then you have Wolverine coming, you have that, and then anticipation of course, GTA, right? So GTA will be a big seller. Those 2 quarters.
By the way,
the latter half
before you move on, Hargi, when you mentioned Saros, so we didn't touch on it last week, but we heard that the sales are kind of on pace to being kind of like what their first game was, Returnal.
Yeah,
and that's
where
that's great, exactly where I expected it. I never expected this one to sell more than Returnal did, really, because I mean it's the same type of game. It's basically bullet hell, and the last one didn't do very well in terms of sales, so I figured this one wouldn't sell more than Returnal.
Yeah. And there's other games that obviously did well, and they're mostly third party. Some even Xbox games did pretty well, and gave them a good amount of money. But yeah. So I mean, overall, like it was an okay showing. The console sales are where they kind of expected it to start dipping. It is a bit behind now on the PS4, not on overall sales, but for this quarter in the same time frame on the PS4. PS5 is about 42% behind on the number of unit sales just for this quarter. So it's not like an overall thing. So it's a little, it's slowing down more so than PS4, which kind of kept going a bit more. So maybe we can kind of expect a certain plateau below the PS4 sales numbers. But we'll see, because this might last longer, right? It may be that they'll keep selling the PS5 for a while, depending on when the PS6 comes. And how expensive that device is going to be, and this could be a more affordable option going forward. We'll see, right? But yeah, so that's kind of overall what they had there. There are other nuggets, like the memory price issue is having them kind of not certain on when they're going to start their PS6 run, with the mention of they're probably not even going to look at it until 2028. Which, okay, that's cool. But that does mean that you're probably looking at maybe 28, 29 before you see a PS6. Again, that it could be the opposite. Maybe they're ready to go with it in 27. I don't know, but based on what they're saying, if they're going to start looking at it in 28, then I would expect you're probably looking at best end of 28, but even more likely 29 before they see a PS6 coming out. And that's basically, they just want the economics to work, because the memory prices are just too high right now. It's just not going to make it viable. So we'll see what they do with that. There's other parts of this where we have the AI thing. So Nishino gave his entire presentation, and all of it was about AI. There was also an interesting point.
Especially,
right,
it says I can't even say it.
Generative,
yeah, AI. God,
So
I
they're
can't even
using all
speak
sorts of
today.
things. Yeah. I put the link in the chat there if you want to go to the slide, but they actually go into what they're trying to do with it. There's a lot that they're looking at doing as far as various capabilities. Overall, though, I don't see it as a negative. I think a lot of these things are things people are already doing. They're just kind of telling you that, hey, like, we're taking advantage of features that AI can give us. And, I have no issue with them, like, taking advantage of the tool set. But, I guess industry wise, there's been a lot of pushback when it comes to Microsoft doing it versus Sony. Again, I don't know how much pushback there's really been. I am not on social media, so I don't know if there's been a lot of pushback. But, usually everything Sony does is like, oh, okay, whatever, passe. Whereas if Microsoft even hints at doing anything, Xbox hints at doing anything, oh, it's the end of the world. We just got that with like the new leadership team coming from the AI side, right? And the assumption of like, oh, see, it's going to be AI. It's like, but the second thing she did is said, I'm taking Copilot out. Like,
Yeah.
like,
well, I mean, like you said just a minute ago, that both these companies are going to be using AI to a certain
the
degree
tool sets are going to be there.
Even when they're creating games, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I just looked it up on Twitter real quick, and it does look like Sony is laying out plans to use AI within PlayStation and game development. So this is something you're going to see more and more of as AI continues to grow. People are just going to have to deal with it. I hate to say it that way, but it's, if it's going to help game development and speed and time in which we can get these games a little faster maybe and still hold quality, I don't have a problem with it. I've said that for a long time now, though. So
yeah, and they're saying the same things, that it's not intended to replace people. I think it's going to replace people. There's no way around that. But
it is. It will.
Yeah, but like, overall, I understand some of the capabilities they're looking at. It's some of it is pisser, right? That's AI, right? And then they're using it for some hair modeling, stuff like that. Okay, cool, good enough. One thing I did want to point out that was kind of interesting. Let me bring this up. I'll make it a little bigger, and then I should be able to share screen share. No, that. Here we go. Okay. Hopefully it's gonna come up. There we go. Do we have to add it to stage? Here we go. One thing to note here, so they want to have a unified commerce experience. And one thing that's still in there is PC. So right player, right message, right channel, right time. And they have PC still in there. I'm wondering if this is kind of a hint.
They could mean multiplayer games, they're gas games.
Well, if it's to create a unified experience, and this is all in the context of AI, right?
Gotcha.
I'm wondering if they really are going to go forward then to have their own store, because that's how you control it. And I would not be shocked to hear an announcement, sometime in the near future of a launch of their own PC launcher.
Well, remember, there's been rumblings behind the scenes about that for over a year now, well over a year.
Yeah,
but they're working on one. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a good way to actually give you a cohesive experience, a la what Xbox is doing, right? You have the same game. It's It's the same achievements, in this case, trophies, right? It's the same everything. It transfers over, and your save transfers. They can create that and give you your experience, whatever, right? So if they want to go down that path, maybe that is something they look at. But we'll see. I think that makes sense for them. It also gives them leverage on where that launcher works, a la Helix. They may want to say, hey, you know what? We won't put it on Steam, but we'll put it on our own launcher. And their own launcher, they can do whatever they want and say it won't run on Helix, right? Steam will not play that game, right? They will go wherever Steam should go. It'll go. And if the game is on the store, it will run, right? Whereas this, if it's their own launcher, they can do whatever they want. It'd be an interesting thing. It's an interesting play, right? I could see them doing that. But yeah, and by the way, Steam Machine, same thing, right? They could say, hey, we have it on our launcher. That doesn't work on Linux. Sorry, you have to use Windows and you have to use our launcher. Totally fair, right? It's up to them. But it does give you the game on PC if you want it. I don't know how well that'll work. A lot of PC players kind of don't like going to different launchers. They like their Steam launcher. We'll see. We'll see if it's good enough for them, and maybe like a year later or something, they bring it there. I don't know.
I would make an exception for their launcher if they just bring their games to PC. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, and especially if it's day and date, right? Because at that point, they're getting their 100%. And at least, based on the financials where we are, and if PS6 is out in 2029, you've got a 3-year roadway here. Like, are you really going to take away the ability to sell those games on PC when you're already kind of at the end of your run for PS5? Like, you're not selling any more consoles. You've already sold them. It's already done, right? So at this point, if you can get 100% of the money when everybody buys the game at launch, who cares? Put it wherever it is. People will buy it. At least in my opinion, their revenue's good. Their profit, the net operating income is not profit. It's net operating income. It's under 10% again. And so that's not the greatest news. In dollar terms, it was still okay, but it had a massive impairment, and that impairment was Bungie, which we'll get into next. But before I get into Bungie, I've been rambling on. Why don't you guys talk about it? Holly, you haven't had a chance to talk about this at all.
Yeah. You want to jump in?
What do you think about all that?
Which part? No. I mean, the unpopular thing that I'll say is that I think there's so much animosity, maybe is the right word, around AI. And in all reality, people have been using it for years and years. They just didn't know it. It's just been an infant form, right? Something more low key. And now we're at a point where it's really going to, it's ramping up, right? It's doing its thing. So, like, I guess the vocal group, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like the people that are extremely vocal against AI are probably like the Twitter minority of gamers, right? Who are upset about insert thing here. I don't know, whatever you want to talk about, but like, AI is the next like common thing in life. I don't know how better to say it, and just like kind of a blunt person sometimes, so I apologize if that comes off offensive to people. I'm not trying to be that way, people. Cool your tits. But AI is just in things. It has been in things. It will be in things. It will be in things you don't even know you're using, and it will continue. And it will do great things for you as well in the future that you might not even know. Like, it might study some sort of health thing and you might benefit from that, right? Or whatever. So when we hear about all this stuff, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I expect them to use a lot of AI, and I don't necessarily need an update every time you do. I don't really care. Like, you're going to do it anyway. Do the thing. And then show people the product at the end so that they don't like have this resistance the entire time and this all the time. It's just like, do the thing, shut up about it, make it great, show the product, and then, make it something that people actually want and is actually useful and viable for people in life, or gaming, or whatever, right? And then this may come across a little weird, but like I 110% expect a Sony PC launcher. Like, I just don't see them leaving the money on the table for PC. I understand that they don't want to give away the 30% or 20 or whatever, right, for Steam. So for them, building out that infrastructure is a pain, cumbersome, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, they get to keep 30% forever, right? Or 100% forever. So then it also kind of does the same thing for them that Xbox is doing, right? In the future, they'll eventually have some sort of PC interface system, right? With the console and the hybrid mentality and all that stuff. So they're just a little bit far behind, and they have the vast market share to be able to be that far behind, right? It's really not a big deal for them that they're behind. Mike H says Sony PC launcher makes no sense. Steam players would not move over. I don't think you understand the PC player. No offense, my guy. But like, I play on PC almost exclusively, and I have 3 launchers, 4 launchers. Like,
if there are exclusives that are great on a platform, they will play them. Just like some people will talk about how Epic Store, nobody goes over there. Even Steam players use it for Fortnite on PC.
I play on Epic. I buy it on Epic because they give good cash back and they do incentives and stuff for now, because they're trying to build their user base. The store is not nearly as good as Steam, but it's way more infant, right, than Steam is. They'll figure it out. They'll work on it. They'll do whatever. Yep. You're wrong, because I would not buy a PC. I have a PS5. I wouldn't buy a PS6 if I could buy those games on PC. And if I have to wait 6 months, that's fine. I don't care.
Same.
But
Same.
I would not buy another PlayStation console. I have no interest in it. It is. You can call it whatever you want, Mike. It's just reality talking about from a PC player.
That's like when you're just talking about, will most Steam players move over to another launcher outside of Steam for a third-party game? No, why? It's on Steam. If it's on Steam, they're going to stay there.
Well, yeah.
But if it's a game they really want to play and it's on another launcher, trust me, they'll go play it on that launcher. It just happens.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what that percentage is of people who would be pissed off enough to never buy it versus, because I eventually think it's going to come to Steam, right? It'll probably be a year or two later. It'll still come to Steam, right? But they could do like very close to launch or day and date if it's on their own launcher, right? So that is a benefit to players. Like, I'd be happy to buy Wolverine day and date if it's on the PC launcher. That's fine. If it's on their launcher, I'm happy to buy that game. There's going to be some of their games. It's like, I'll buy that. That's fair enough. So I'm not married to a store. I just want to play my games. So I'm good with that. My PC gives me the option to play with whatever store, and I have games in all the stores. I don't care. So,
by the way, Hargeet and Holly, I just found out yesterday. I was years old when I found out that there is an AI data center that's going to be built a half an hour away from me, and I'm not happy about it. And so is the towns. They're not happy about it at all.
This the grid?
Why is that? Because you don't have enough power, enough water.
Well, it's because they drain your water, they drain your power, and they tend to fuck things up. Like, if you look at some of the towns these data centers are in, they've already screwed up the water. They've screwed up their energy bills. They're a lot higher than they used to be. Because they take more from the grid overall.
Now here's where government can be useful. You all need to kind of get together and say, if they want to do that, they got to buy their own power generation. They got to take care of water and cleaning it. Whatever things you have as issues, because otherwise they're going to do it, and you're not going to get anything. So your time to do it is now. To say no, if you want to do that, here's our stipulations. Government, you need to make that happen. We're not going to allow it otherwise, right? So now's your leverage. Because once it's built, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's
so once
proposed.
It's permitted.
Yeah, it's proposed to be built in 2028. So
so now's your chance. Go make all sorts of noise and say these are the things we want.
I'm sure your local governments have a laundry list of things that they're going to be asking for. You don't just do that for free, you know.
It depends on your state. It depends on how open they are to business. A lot of times they just take like, you're gonna put a traffic light there. That's good. That's all we need, and you can fuck the rest. Like, no.
Yeah, I've seen.
You guys
need
a bunch to go talk.
I've seen a bunch of county meetings and stuff where the whole town is there bitching about the possibility of an AI data center coming, and they don't care. Their local government doesn't care. They're just like, you know what? We're gonna do it anyway. For money.
They're building one in one of the far out suburbs here, but it's fine because it sucks. That suburb sucks. So, like, you know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
but how far away is it from
Michigan,
you? Because
like as big as an ocean. So
it could still affect your energy bill because it's coming off the grid.
It's far enough away from me; it won't matter. But right, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
well,
crazy.
you live in such a pretty area too. That's what would annoy me. I'm like, why can't you put it somewhere where there's
the bad thing about it is like I worry about the water and stuff because of the farmlands, because I live in basically farmlandville. Like, it's a lot of farmers out here, and I just man, I've seen some things that are happening in other places with data centers, and it's bad. It's really bad. So I'm definitely not looking forward to that. And of course, if push comes to shove, of course we're going to raise hell. We're going to push back on it. Continue to do that.
Ours is going to be 800 acres large. 800 acres. And the bill, they're trying to pass a bill called the Power Act, which aims to address the concerns about price increases, electricity shortages, and environmental impacts. ComEd officials have said that the energy needed to keep the data center would not raise electric bills. Of course, ComEd would say that, right?
Shout out to 4XP Gaming. I see you in the chat.
Yeah,
met those guys the other night in a party chat. Really cool people.
Yeah, and I think it's going to affect it no matter what, because the grid itself is not going to magically have different power. Like, somebody has to generate power. That's just the way it is. And you can have a different utility company, but they're still sourcing power from those same power sources. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And, so like, where are they going to just magically get that? Data centers,
depends on how much availability.
A lot.
It depends how much availability is in your.
And they're targeting a 44,000 acre lot, basically.
Oh, that's real big.
For this, real big. So I'm none of us.
What happened to them putting those under the ocean and stuff? Like how as the Azure is that just not a thing for those? Is it too much?
For which one, sorry?
Like how Azure's under the ocean. Like, I thought they were putting them under the ocean.
They tried that, and then it like stopped. I guess it didn't work out. So they I think they dropped that idea.
They found out that we couldn't breathe down there.
Sure is nice and cool down there, though.
So dumb. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, DJ March with the Bill Gates setting fire to his own land to build his future city. I didn't hear about that one, but I do know that, like, in farming, they do burn crops to allow the next set of crops, right? So they have patched areas where they burn the crops down to farm to put in the seeds for the next crop. But so I don't know what he's planning to do, but people at that level, who knows, right? The guy has way more than enough money. He can't seem to get rid of it fast enough, right? He's trying to cash out all of his stocks and try to give away money, but he makes so much money that he can't give it away.
I think he's trying to hide it before the Epstein indictment comes.
There's that too. Holy crap.
Release the files. Release the rest. So Forza Horizon 6 and Lego Batman was just both leaked online, I guess. Apparently there was some sort of issue with a Walmart pre-order code that you would get if you bought it from Walmart. And on Xbox, mind you, you'd be able to download it and just play the game. And that's what people were doing. Yeah. And they got it and they stopped it. But people have found out, though, if you just unplug and you're not online, you can still play the game. So some people were doing that and playing the game offline still. And without giving anything away, because you don't want any spoilers, but here's some things, some takeaways some players was talking about after they played a bit of the game. So people are right. It is a lot like Arkham Combat from the Arkham games. It just Lego style, but you got that good combat. They are reporting that there's a lot of references and stuff to the Dark Knight films and like the 1989 Batman and all that stuff, which we could see. The best thing that I found out, though, is the performance and stability. They said, despite early concerns about the game's high system requirements, the Xbox Series X players are saying that it was really good. Like it was a steady 60 frames.
Why would a Lego Batman game need such high performance? Is that a dumb question? Is it just not optimized well?
Well, it's saying that it is optimized well because it's.
I mean, look at the size of Crimson Desert and all the things that it does.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay.
I'm curious. I know what you're thinking, right? Is it UE? Is it Unreal Engine 5 or what is it?
Might be. I don't know.
Maybe
they have their own like Lego engine or something like that. Maybe.
Maybe. Let me look it up.
Lego engine built brick by brick.
Engine.
Yeah, brick by brick. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It's Unreal Engine 5. There's your answer.
There's the answer. Yeah.
There's your answer.
All over the place.
But apparently it's running really well in performance mode on the Series X. So that's what some players are stating.
We'll see.
Hey.
But yeah, UE5, I know it's the devil's anus it for engines. Like
it does really great things. It just has some problems and they haven't fixed it.
Yeah, but and they won't. Hargeet said this years ago, Holly. And when I say this, I'm not exaggerating, guys. Hargeet on RDX, like 3.5 years ago, stated, when more people use Unreal Engine 5 and all those problems are happening, they will never fix it. And you will see Unreal Engine 6 before you see those fixes to Unreal Engine 5.
Did Tim Sweeney come out and say it was a developer problem and not Unreal? Which is like, come on, my guy. Some of it for sure, but come on, my guy. Like, it's okay.
I remember when you said that, Hargeet, on RDX, though, you said they'll come out with UE6 before they fix UE5.
Yep.
And I'm just
the way it goes, right?
Wow, that's crazy. But he's right.
And I'm pretty sure before we get these next consoles, you're going to see the same kind of demo, just like when UE5 was shown, right? You're going to see the same kind of demo of UE6. UE6 with the neural rendering, right? You have neural rendering for the facial animations and all that, right? It'll look really, really good. But it'll kill your games on the new consoles before they even come out. And you think about, we're gonna have these 120 frames. Yeah, good luck.
You'll need a 1290 to play it correctly, right?
Yeah,
right. But yeah, when it comes to the Forza Horizon 6 situation, do we know how it got leaked? Because I heard conflicting things. And
I keep hearing conflicting things myself. And the last I'm hearing is it has more to do with a review code being leaked out or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure what the heck's going on, but
there's some sort of token that the reviewer put out there or something with the game code.
Yeah, and that allows people to play it. And I don't know. They're working on locking that back up, but it's out there, right? So, and look,
but if you try to play online, what's going to happen, Hargeet?
you'll get banned. Your system might be totally locked. So, and that's at a Steam level, right? Because it's a Steam code, right? So I don't know. I would be careful trying to go online if you ever want to do that. But look, the pirate thing is always been a thing. It's like those who are gonna steal the game, they were gonna steal the game anyway. It would have been cracked within a month anyway. So whatever. I'm not sure that's a huge deal. Whatever. Most people are gonna buy the game because they just want to play the game and play normally. So I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. But unfortunately, that did happen. It's out there. The game launches on Friday for early access. And before it's even out, unfortunately, the game is out there. And I think it's with all the DLC as well. So it's an interesting little headache, but whatever. Interesting to note that the DLC is already done. But anyway, yeah. So a little bit of controversy, though. I guess it's not on Xbox's side. It's more of a I don't know if this is substantiated or not, but more of somebody who had a review copy did some nefarious stuff, and that's why this is happening. So, which is sad. I don't know why that needs to happen, but hey, whatever. Ron
G2477 Kid with a $1.99. Thank you very much. He says, how hard do you guys think Sony is going to market GTA 6? I think they're going to want to push consoles for sure.
Yeah.
Do they have the marketing rights?
Supposedly.
Yeah, they have the marketing rights. Danny Passion Official, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Mixtape, better than GTA 6. Mixtape, game of the gen.
Wow.
I don't think so, but okay. If that's how you feel,
we get this one?
I don't have a problem with it. No,
Maybe you already got
Sith Lord. Yeah, 98 with the 2. Hi, guys. Hi, Holly. I hope all is well. And I bet you right now, Sith, you're probably wearing your NASCAR jacket. Maybe?
Or a
Maybe?
Blackhawks jersey.
I don't know. Oh, Blackhawks. He likes the Blackhawks, too. No, Red Wolf. We're not talking about Black Flag. Sorry.
You can't get him, Wolf. He won't do it.
He can't get me.
Can't be part of your compilation.
Yeah. I'm not going to be part of that, man. That nonsense.
FL. Okay. Wow, man.
You see what he was trying to do there.
Right, so, yep.
You know, I want to get into this a little bit because I've seen a lot of discourse around this game, and I've got some.
Wait, we didn't talk about
read off
Bungie, by the way.
Oh, you didn't go. Oh, well,
we didn't get into
about
Bungie.
The AI and Sony.
We tabled,
so what's going on with Bungie? Let us know what's happening with Bungie.
Okay, so unfortunately, it looks like over the Q2 and Q4 of last year for Sony, Bungie has taken 2 hits, totaling $765 million in impairment. And what that generally means is Sony invested X amount of money and expected a return, did not get it. So that impairs the value of that asset, right? So however you want to look at it, it's money out the door in one way or the other, right? But it's investment into their own thing, but they can't take that in an actual return, so they're taking the hit on their bottom line. So it's not looking good. They also mentioned, hey, we're looking to the fan base that is there for Marathon, we're trying to continue to give them content and keep them engaged. What I didn't hear is here's the next game we're going to make with that studio. Like, we're greenlighting a game. They didn't say that. Now, maybe that's just, they're not telling us, but I don't know. All I hear is corporate speak for Bungie could be shut down sometime soon. So I don't really see a future for them. I'm sorry. Like, that's a lot of money to lose. They had a $1 billion retention funding, and they were bought for 3.6, and they have done nothing of value for PlayStation. I just can't see it. Like, they've canceled a lot of games. They were supposed to be the saviors of their live service. The 3 games that were live service that are still working, Helldivers 2, which isn't theirs, it's a third party made it. Granted, they own the IP, fair enough, but a third party made it. That one worked great. The existing GT, Gran Turismo, which has always been a franchise that's been doing well for them, and then the existing MLB The Show. Those are the ones that are working, right? And it's like, okay, the rest of it has all failed miserably. I don't know what else to say. the Bungie thing has to be considered a massive failure. I can't see it any other way. You could take the egg on the face thing of like, this is supposed to be better than ABK. I'm not even gonna go there. Like, just looking at the fact that Bungie has made one of the most iconic games for me, anyways, Halo, and where they are today is just sad. I was never a major fan of Destiny, but I played Destiny 1 and 2's campaign. I was looking forward to the next campaign from that studio. However, Sony said, or PlayStation said, no, you're not making a campaign. You're making a live game. That's it. And so you get Extraction, game Marathon, which still has a player base. It does, but it did not sell to the level they were expecting at all. Right. So it's in trouble. I don't know where they go with it. I can't imagine Sony saying, hey, why don't we invest another $1 billion to make the next game? That's just not likely. And unfortunately, this is where they are. So I only see like a very slim chance that they say, we'll cut you down to a very small studio that just does content for Marathon and Destiny, and keep those running and get us some funds back. I don't know that they're going to go and invest into the next big thing, because unfortunately for Bungie, it's going to cost a lot. It's going to cost upwards of $400 or $500 million to make the next big game from them. And I can't imagine Sony saying, yes, let's invest even more when we know we're not going to get a return that's guaranteed. And like, it's a sad state, unfortunately, but that's kind of where I see them going. But that was one of the big financial news things that we got.
Yeah.
Was
Bungie and to add to that,
in trouble.
One of the reasons why Bungie are in trouble is because, well, there's been significant turnover ever since PlayStation has taken Bungie over. Not just in random developers there at Bungie, but lead developers have left the company. And that's an issue, because those are the guys that have been there for the Destiny 1s, the Destiny 2s in the beginning, and Destiny 2 has even fallen way off over the years. And I know a lot of people are out there and they say, well, just have them make Destiny 3. It's not so easy when you have some of these lead guys that are no longer there anymore. I don't.
Destiny.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like
Holly.
Destiny 2 is like 8-9 years old, right?
It's old. Yeah.
I mean, I think they did a really good job, like supporting that game with tons of content over the years. Cause I have friends who pop in and out of Destiny 2, when there's new stuff, they go play it, they do the raids, they love them, they have a great time, and then they put it down and go, do other things and then come back for the next. Supporting all of the content that they had was not necessarily their strong suit once you bought it, right? Because they were locking stuff behind vaults and pulling stuff down. You couldn't get to it anymore and all that. So that was not the best handling of it, but they did pump out a decent amount of content. But wasn't it $735 million that came out for Marathon? 765.
Yeah, that was the impairment.
It's like almost 19 million copies. Like, there was zero, and that's assuming everybody bought full price. Like, there's no shot that they thought that any game from them was going to sell that many copies. I mean, who sells that many copies? Red Dead, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think very few.
Destiny 1 and 2 sold, but look, I was more interested in those games because they had a campaign. I had zero interest in the online stuff.
Even more of a point to say, I mean, at this point, I think they just brought the game out so that they could recoup something, right?
And I'm like these guys in chat. Like, that is the only risk to take with Bungie would be a Destiny 3, but it's still a major risk, especially considering you've had a lot of turnover there and in lead roles, and
they've had a lot of bad press too. With
I don't know that they can right this ship necessarily. I don't want to say that, oh no, they're totally done and they're over, but it just kind of seems like that's the way it's going. And Sony, who knows how much more they're going to take of their losses with Bungie. they could say, you know, no, we're done. Like, it's over. Like this, we're just going to absolve you into other studios, take some of the best from Bungie and just put them elsewhere
Yeah, I think
to
that's
help
what's gonna
them
happen.
create other, you know, help out with other live
Yeah.
service games. I don't know, but it seems like the creative force there is just not there. I mean, one, Marathon started off really badly. You had them stealing art from other people to create this artistic game, and then just looking at it alone, for me, like, it just looks like vomit. The game itself just does not appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. I know some people love the aesthetic. I do not. And also, it's a genre that's very well played out. And you've got a game right now, or you did have a game in Arc Raiders that was really shining for a time in this genre.
Well,
And I
And
think
even
Halo
that was
that
part of the
is-
issue.
And
right?
even
Halo
that
and
is going
COD
down.
Halo and COD are gonna chase the extraction shooter thing now too. Anytime you hear them, they're gonna do these like coming up. I'm like, it's already too late. By the time you get
I know,
the
like,
next one
why
done, it's
do
gonna
that?
be the next. Just go and do something else, right? Go figure out your thing and be the, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, to wall diggity to, you know, what's worse right now, Bungie or Halo? Well, at least Halo Infinite did make money. It made $1 billion, right? So it's at least they're okay versus Bungie lost like $1 billion. That's not good. So I'd say Halo
Yeah,
City is in better shape.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it like that, for me, I'm looking at it like they're both trash right now. Man, they both need a lot of help. Ron G2477 Kid with a $4.99. Thank you. I appreciate that. Says Bungie is overrated. It's not Rockstar or Naughty Gods. Who cares? They are overrated nowadays. You're right. But man, I don't want them to be overrated. When I think of Bungie, I think of the old heyday when they were making Halo and the first Destiny game. Even I loved it. Like, I put so much time, thousands of hours into that first one.
Yeah.
And they're just not the same.
And like you said, right, a lot of the talent leaves. It, you know, all good things come to an end, unfortunately, and this is the way it goes.
Red Wolf Renegade with the $5. Thank you very much, man. He says, 2 years back, I was ready to jump into Destiny. Destiny, what, Ligeri? What? And go through the whole story to get caught up. I see what you did there. They cut the story content, so I said, F it. Yeah. Didn't they always cut story content? Even from its inception with Destiny, they were holding back content for DLC and stuff. That's something that they've always done. Destiny, Ligeri, I see what you did. Yeah. Black flag. No. Anyway, I just Hargeet, Bungie, you know, what do you think? You think they'll be like, if anything happens to them, you think they'll be absolved into them, or are they just going to cut them off and let them go, cut ties?
Yeah, I don't see a long future. I think they're not gonna. There's no way they can sell them because there's no value. Nobody's gonna buy them, right? They could try to push them off somewhere. I don't see that being useful. So I think what you said, basically, they're gonna take the talent, move it around. They might, you know, shrink Bungie down to something that can keep the current games running, and that's it. It's it's a different studio now. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure, you know, what else they can realistically do. I would be very reticent if I was Sony to invest another $500 million or more into their next game, because I mean, you've seen it, right? They've, you know, the team that made Concord came out of Bungie, and that team epically failed, and they lost the same amount, like $500 million plus, right, on that game. And now you have this one. I mean, it's just horrendous amounts of money just going out and being just thrown away. You just imagine if this 765 didn't go away. They made about $3 billion in net operating income, right? If this didn't go out, that would be closer to $4 billion. $4 billion in net operating. That's pretty good. But unfortunately, this is what's happening. So the Jim Ryan era is coming plunging down and hurting the bottom line of PlayStation. It is what it is. But like I don't know. I don't see any other option here. I think they're gonna have to like shrink it down or take the best parts of it and move them on to other studios and call it a day.
That's what I think they'll do.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the mixtape hate. Okay, because
oh boy,
this one's a really strange one, and I'm gonna I'm gonna read some of this stuff here that I jotted down because I don't want to miss some of the points that I want to make here about this, because I've heard so much discourse, some genuine and some disingenuous takes on this whole situation. I think it's just very weird. So Mixtape is a game about 3 teenagers on their last night before high school graduation. Supposedly it's set in the late 90s, and it mixes a soundtrack of 2 different eras. It's like 80s music and 90s music, with bands like Smashing Pumpkins, Devo, The Cure. Some of you are like, who? But anyways, for some older millennials and even Gen Xers like myself, many of the reviewers have been enamored with the nostalgia it provides. So many are giving this game the highest score possible because it resonates with them, while others on the other side are claiming that the love for this game is somehow manufactured or fake. I haven't played it, nor do I want to play it. I don't care to, but I really don't care. The thing is, I really don't care if other people give this a great score or a bad score at the end of the day. It does nothing to me, because all these sites, and I've said this for years, guys, these aggregate score sites like Metacritic, OpenCritic, they don't faze me at all. They can sit there and give it a big number, small number. I don't care if they're the polar opposite of me when it comes to a game. Any given game can be loved or hated. And for me, it doesn't faze me because it's an opinion. And we all have one. Who cares? That said, this is a little $20 freaking title that is so polarizing, and I just don't get it. I've heard everything from it's because it is not a real indie game. It's being financially backed by some big mega billionaire out there that, is just throwing out DEI slop, to other people stating that, oh, they didn't live this life. They didn't go through these same things, and they're millennials and they should have seen this. And, somehow this whole TP house, toilet papering houses, and, trying to find an adult to buy you beer is just all a page taken out of some nostalgic playbook from an era that never happened. But I'm telling you, it indeed happened. Like this kind of stuff, I was a part of as a teenager. I partook in TPing houses. I partook in me and my friends looking for adults to buy us beer. It happened. So they don't even consider the fact that some of us went through some of this stuff, and some of us could resonate with stuff within the game. Again, regardless of the different experiences we have, at the end of the day, everyone has their own opinions. These experiences are not always one-to-one. And I'll go a step further here. This is the crazy irony in all this stuff. It's only really in the news cycle as often as it is because of the hate and because of the people that we like to call influencers or video game commentators. They keep talking about this game. They keep pushing this game, and it's a game they want to bury. How are you going to bury a game if you keep highlighting it? And I know some people out there are like, well, we're supposed to look to other people and hear their opinions on it, even if it's negative, because it gives me a better understanding of how this game is and stuff. Yes, but there is a point when they incessantly keep going after the game, keep making videos, or keep talking about it on Twitter, or attacking others who may like the game. Who fucking cares if they like the game? I don't know why people are so freaking crazy about this game. Holly, why are people nuts about this whole mixtape? Like, I don't even want to play the game, but it's got me freaking sitting here going, I don't understand it. And I've watched countless videos. I've heard from people on both sides. And you know what? The only thing this game has done, has shown me anyway, is that it's gotten more attention than I think it freaking deserves, one way or the other. That's all I'm saying.
So, chat, in case you couldn't tell, Fonz has been texting me very animated about this topic for a few days now. Like, he's been really on this topic. His passion is here. Well, so I actually think it's pretty easy to figure out what's going on here, at least in my opinion. First of all, this is the same studio that made the Artful Escape, and the Artful Escape was an Xbox Game Pass a couple of years ago, right? And that was one of them where I looked at and I was like, I don't know. And I love indie games. Right? And I was like, I don't know. But I wound up, I'll just turn on for half an hour or whatever, see if I think I love the Artful Escape. It is one of
good game.
The best. It's so good. Having said that, this came out, and I remember the first trailer and every other trailer. I was like, this shit is cringe. Like, I have no interest in playing this at all. However, I don't fault anyone for wanting to play it. I don't care. Do your thing, right? Like, I like indies. A lot of people don't like indies. That's fine, right? Like, we all have our own preferences, and you shouldn't shame somebody just because they want to play a video game, right? Like, let them play what they want to play.
People have been attacked crazily, Holly.
Well, here's the problem.
Like, calling people prostitutes, like people reviewing the game. Like, literally, we don't want to hear from a prostitute about this game.
Well, okay. So first of all,
like,
I've seen a couple
over. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane, the name calling. It's odd.
So there's a few things behind that. I've seen a couple different like arguments about this game, and I'm gonna bring them together because it's actually interesting to me that this topic on the whole is that. So you've got a group of people who are saying, like, I saw a developer who made a post about it, and it was actually something that I like understood and respected, like his opinion on what's happening with this, because he just said, my concern is not with the actual game. My concern with this, and this you touched on a little bit, is the fact that I'm an indie developer. And as an indie developer, it's very difficult to get traction. It's very difficult to get people to know your game. This game in particular clearly has a massive budget behind it because they have all of that licensed music, which is not cheap. Those swag kits they sent out to influencers were very, like, they had to be very expensive swag kits. They made CD players, they made CDs, they made other tchotchkes and other nice things, right, that went out with it. And good for all of those people who got one. That's fine, right? But they were just saying it's very difficult for an indie to get out there, get recognition, do the thing when this game clearly has a lot of money and backing behind it. It's not an indie, it's a AA, right? And that's fair. I feel like that's a fair criticism from somebody in the indie space about, you know, the struggle of being an indie and trying to use the sheen, right, or the skin of an indie to promote, you know, the good vibes that some people get from being an indie studio. But then the other side I see is people complaining about, like, it's not even a game. It's just a movie with a couple button pushes here and there. Like, there are a lot of scenes where, at least from what I've seen, don't get at me, I haven't played it, people. So where if you don't even touch a controller, the player will still keep going, right? Especially in that like opening scene where you're skateboarding down the highway and stuff. But to me, I'm like, well, I understand the criticism from people who play shooters and, you know, that kind of stuff, right? But like, I love Telltale games, and Telltale games are kind of movies with some button prompts and, you know, like simple mechanics. There's no real like gameplay in the sense that you would use in other, you know, actual
I felt the same
interactive.
way with Hellblade 2. Wasn't a lot
Yeah,
going on in
okay.
the
But it
gameplay.
has actual
Yeah.
combat. This doesn't really have much
Eh.
of that. It's an interactive world that you would go up and look at things and you
Yeah,
know,
and it
click
has
on it and
mini
all this
games
stuff.
and stuff that
Right.
are like 1 to 2 minutes long. Yeah.
Right. But here's the actual, to me, like what the actual problem with this is it just comes back to a lot of the fatigue that we've been seeing lately with gaming, like you were talking about, gaming aggregate sites giving this game a 10 out of 10 broadly across all these different people. I haven't played the game, but what I will say is there are a lot of games that I've played that are tremendous to me, right? Like really hit home, really resonate. It is, it hits the heart, it hits the soul, whatever. But I could also objectively say on the scale of gaming, right, you know, across gaming, it's not a 10 out of 10 to other people or to the masses. It might be a 10 out of 10 to me, but I understand that that's a me thing, right?
Yeah.
But so people have been dogging on IGN for a long time. Justified or not, that's your opinion. But I would say, you know, IGN has had some L takes on some game reviews over time, right? And they've not done the best job at portraying some games. So you just had all of the stink with Crimson Desert getting a 6 and then having to get re-reviewed, right? Then you just had all of the stink with what was the other game that came out that everybody loved and they gave a poopy score. Oh, and they gave Marathon like a 7 or an 8, or you know, they gave that like a pretty high score. Like anyway, they're just not like, they're kind of out of the, you know what I mean, like the general consensus that you see other places on where these games should lie. And they're not the only one. I'm just using IGN as an example because they're the big dog, right? But then you have this game which has very little actual gameplay, you know, actual interaction mechanics that are traditional to the gaming space. You have a story that is based in nostalgia, right? So if you are that demographic, it might really hit home for you, but if you're not, it might not. And then you've got just a very, you know, a short experience. The graphics they're nice, right? They're fine. It's a preference thing. I'm just saying, when you look at Mixtape on the whole, it could get a great score, but is it really worth a 10 out of 10? Expedition 33 only got a 9 out of 10 from them. And I think we could all argue that Expedition 33 on the gaming spectrum, because of course, all these games are like rated independently, but you have to think of gaming as an aggregate on the whole. Expedition 33 had issues, but it is objectively a better game than Mixtape.
I understand that, but that's why I don't ever look to these aggregate scoring websites.
So
it's
that's you.
I've learned a long time ago that most of these journalists are very, you know, disingenuous at times. And this goes with just about any game. It's not just directed at one particular genre or whatever. It happens. I can point out many games out there that are smaller games that don't have much gameplay that have way better scores than
But that's my
Mixtape.
point, though, is we're in this world where it's supposed to be fairly objective and fairly across the board, right? Like it's unfortunate that these games get pinned against each other, but sometimes
the thing is that's like a pipe dream world. That's not where we're at anymore.
Well,
we're not, with Metacritic. I don't look at it that, and I think other people are kind of wising up to it as well. They are not where you look to for your scores. You have to listen to the people that are around you. Maybe you do have some streamers that you, or content creators that you do align with. Those sorts of people are the ones that you want to hear from when it comes to a game. At least that's the way I've done it, and that's the way some of my friends are doing it now. But
my point is, I don't think that this game is suffering this scrutiny because the game is bad or people don't even like the game. I think it's more of a hyperbole of what's going on with like all of this all over the place, these big sites who clearly have bias. Like there's bias
and I
everywhere.
think that's worse. I think that's worse that this is getting all the controversy because of that.
But it's
I think
their
it's worse.
fault. But it's their, like the gaming sites that are giving all these crazy good scores. It's their fault that they brought all this heat on this because they've decided that this is a game that they're going to herald, right? Like this is the one that they're going to like give.
Well, but I could jump on the other side and say those people decided to hate on this game, to make this their most hated game out there, which they're not even playing.
But it's a response.
Most of the people aren't even playing. Most of the people that are talking about this in a bad way aren't even fucking playing the game. And that to me is more disingenuous than somebody saying, I give this a 10 because it resonated with me.
I think you're also
who's to say he's being disingenuous? I don't know that he's being disingenuous. Maybe he really feels that way.
Yeah, but it's not about how
he played it at least.
It's not about how a reviewer feels good because of the nostalgia, because of the member berries, right, that come from it. It's about
but that's
how
part of gaming.
But there's you could put your heart and emotion to how much you love something and still give it an objective score. Your review could talk about how much you love this game, how it resonated with you, how it shines, how it's nostalgic, how it hit all the right notes, and still give it a more objective score on the whole. You shouldn't just sit down. It's the same thing as somebody sitting down and say, this game really hit my memory of being in high school and doing all these things. It's a 10 out of 10. It's the same thing as all the people who did that to Hogwarts Legacy and gave it a 1 out of 10 because of reasons. It's the same thing.
I know what you're saying, but it's opinions at the end of the day. And if like, that's why I implore people out there, stop looking to Metacritic for your freaking scores on games. Because you have such a hodgepodge of different reviewers that don't even like some of these genres that they review sometimes, or vice versa, you know, and they'll give a 10 to something that, you know, they really love because it, again, resonated with them. They had great feels with the game, even though there's not a lot of gameplay. I heard some of the same, you know, talking points when it comes to that, not necessarily, oh, I remember doing this as a child or anything, but in games like Journey, this game made me feel things. And it didn't have much gameplay in Journey, yet it got a 90-something Metascore, like back in the day. It was really heralded. This is an 85. Sure, some outlets gave it a 10, but then again, at the end of the day, you have to start looking at who are these reviewers? Do you align with any of these reviewers to get a sense of, you know, where they're at? That's all I'm telling people is to just get more wise about who you listen to and stuff when it comes to these games. For me, it's the incessant attacks that I see. I've seen it time and again on Twitter. People are just saying, oh, I love this game. Nobody wants to hear from a prostitute like you. And I'm like, what is that kind of response? Or nobody wants to hear from a PDF file like you. Why? Because somebody simply said they enjoyed playing a game. And this is not a 10 out of 10, Holly. I'm talking about guys who are just giving it 7s and 8s. And they're getting attacked. You shouldn't like this. You shouldn't have any fun with this game. It's ridiculous. And does it matter that it's backed by a big financial corporation? I don't agree with that indie developer and what they're saying at all. And that's because who cares what money is spent? If the game is good and people are enjoying it, fine.
It matters
it's a
what
good
money
game.
is spent because they don't have
No,
the
it
budget
doesn't.
to yes, it does.
And whose fault is that? Because somebody has the money to make a game? Shame them? I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. I don't care. Because nobody said, no, because this is not something where it's like, oh my God, I've made a game because I have a lot of money to throw at it. I can make even more games.
Fonz, you are sitting in your house right now and you come up with the idea of this game. And you're like, this is it does fucking matter because
how does it matter how much money somebody has to put into a game?
Oh, it does. How do you buy all that licensed music? That's the point. Do you know how much that costs alone? It's probably more than 4 other
so wait a minute. So I'm supposed to. So you're saying I'm supposed to worry about the developer that can't buy that licensed music? I don't give a fudge about that developer. If I can do it and I have the money to put it in my game, I'm putting it in my game.
You can't even make the game that you want to make if you don't have
what that sounds like to me?
Of money to buy
Holly, you know what that sounds like to me? That developer was jealous. They don't have the budget for it. It's ridiculous at the end of the day. It's ridiculous.
Come in and tell him he's wrong.
There's a lot of emotions here. I'm gonna point out that Pentiment also got a 10 out of 10.
Go ahead.
Right, and that game
wasn't much game. It wasn't much game.
It was very similar to this, right? I played and finished Pentiment. Fantastic game, but it's not for everybody. But the reviewer who reviewed it, like me, loved it. Right, gave it a 10 out of 10. That's a small, what was that, like 5 people team, 3 people, whatever it was at Obsidian that made that game. And did it have a high budget? No. Is it backed by a massive behemoth multi-trillion-dollar company? Yes. Does it matter? No, I don't care. Right. So ultimately it comes down to the game, and you can review a game however you want to. Some people played, Starfield and thought it was a 3. Some people played Starfield like me and said it was a 9.5. Right. It just depends on your viewpoint. You might like it, you may hate it. I don't think Crimson Desert is anywhere close to a 9 or 8. I think it would be like a 5 or 6 to me. But you might have loved it and say, no, that's a 9 for me. Fair enough. Everybody has their own viewpoint, right? That's fine. As far as budgets, look, Annapurna is a publisher. There's no special treatment here. Artful Escape did well. They must have some money of their own there, but also Annapurna published it and it got a Game Pass back. Okay, so it's going to have some money. Now, how much did they spend on licensing music? Probably a few $1 million, $5 million, something like that. Fair enough. Fair enough that's probably more than a lot of indie developers can come up with. Is that like if I compare that to something like, a $200 million game or $100 million, it's like, come on, that's peanuts. But whatever. I don't see it the same way. If they wanted to make a game, they got the money they could get. Do it. It's just like a movie, right? You can have a movie that costs a couple of $1 million. You can have a movie that costs a couple of $100 million. You can have like TV series that cost $1 billion. Like it's up to whatever is available to that artist. If it's viable, it'll get the funding, and it looks like they made this work. The anti-Semitism stuff that happened with that whole thing, that is really disgusting. But whatever.
I don't even know about that.
Annapurna is owned by Larry Ellison's daughter.
Yeah.
And they're Jewish. And for some reason, that became a anti-Semitic bullshit story that had to go around that this is somehow a Jewish, what is it, like a psyops or whatever you want to call it, like brainwashing.
How is it a psyop?
I'm just
it's literally about
done
3
with the
suburban
that is so fucking out there these days.
This is 3 high school students the night before they graduate.
Yeah,
I don't even know. I've heard some weird conspiracies about it too.
I'm like so done with this overt, ridiculous anti-Semitism. Fuck all of you assholes. It's just ridiculous. Stop it. Like I'm just so done with that. But anyway, that was another narrative in this. The person at IGN who did like this is an 87 on OpenCritic. Obviously, they're not the only ones who like the game. It's good. And if you're in that mode of like, hey, I felt these moments, it's fair. It's just like, why did I like a movie? Because I felt it was fun. That's it. Right? Can I point out why a movie is great? Is it technically the right? I don't care. Now you say gameplay. Fair enough. Some of my best experiences in gameplay are games where it's narrative-driven point-and-click adventure.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, right? And that doesn't mean that it's technically awesome as a game and it has every, like the FPS mode is really good. The shootings are. It doesn't have any of that. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Some of those games are great, and I love those. Like Halo is awesome, right? But it's its own kind of thing. And sometimes I just want my little puzzle game. And I just like to enjoy that, just to stretch my mind on that, right? And relax with those. And sometimes a narrative game is cool. So I haven't played it yet. I'm looking forward to playing it because I remember that time, because that is my time. So I'm hoping it'll be fun for me. And I like those kind of games. So we'll see what they do. You know, if it's at the same level as a 10 for me, I don't know. We'll find out. But I'm not going to pile on a game until I played it. I'm not going to even go there. Until I played it, I'm not going to pile on a game. I'll say that, you know, is it overrated? Sometimes that happens. But in an indie game, generally like this, I would tend to like defer to people who have played it to say maybe they did experience something. And sometimes just good experiences happen, and you're just left with like a high note, and you're like, that was awesome, right? Like another example, like Michael just came out, right? Michael Jackson film, and
great.
The critics piled on it. Absolute garbage, like 30 something, you know, on Rotten Tomatoes, but all the audience scores are like 97, 96, 98. It's very high. Yeah. Because people who remember Michael Jackson watch it and they're like, yeah, this is something, right? And so is that a 97? I don't know if it's a 97. For me, it was 5 out of 5. I walked out happy. That was how I felt.
That's all that matters.
And to me, that's all that matters, right? So, and I can see it from the person playing the games. Like, I just spent 3 hours and God damn it, I had so much fun. And for me, that's a 10. Fair enough.
Yeah, and
that's how I would see it. You know?
That's basically what I'm saying as well. The Dorian Gray, I see you. Here's my point, though. I myself, if I were to play it, might even consider it slop. Hell, I might love it. I don't know. I don't care to play it personally, so I'll never know. But that's my point. I don't care what anybody else says about a game. It's about me when it comes to this hobby. And I'm not going to attack Holly or Hargeet for saying, you know, they liked it or they, you know, didn't like it. At the end of the day, I think that's stupid, and we got to move away from that. That is the discourse I don't like. That's why I brought this up, is because it's not just about, hey, I don't think they should give this game's 10s. No, it's the attacks. Crazy people, they are attacking each other in the community over video game opinions. And that is just weird to me. It's just really weird.
It's not the first time, nor will it be the last.
No, and it won't be the last. It's just weird.
But that's what makes it entertaining, right? Is having different opinions, right? That's the whole point, right? So it's good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it has to get so much hate. But
that's the point. Everything we talked about, though, has nothing to do with the actual game, right? It's all the swirl, the cannon fodder around the actual game. To be fair, I did watch somebody play the first hour of it because I wanted to get the feel, right? I was like, it doesn't look interesting to me, but let me watch somebody for a while.
I watched a little bit too, and it didn't interest me. Yeah.
The dialogue was so cringe for me for the first hour, half hour. Like when she just like monotonely talked about, and it felt very uncomfortably artificial about how they were inserting the name of whatever song and stuff. But it was only the first half hour, right? Like that's not fair to judge anything by that, right? It may change completely. But everything we've talked about had nothing to do with the actual game, right?
Yeah. I just took umbrage with the whole thing you were talking about with the developers being upset, or as I call it, jealous, because they didn't have as much money as somebody else to make a game. Like that part is just, it's odd to me. Like, I don't know why they would say that.
Hey, be better salesman and make your pitch and get the bag, right? I mean, it's up to you to make that happen, right? So that's life. It's a competition, and like somebody's going to get it, somebody's not, and you have to make the better pitch.
These guys were in an easier position anyway because they already had a successful game, right?
Yeah.
To get a little more this time.
But that's the other part of it,
which
too. You got to understand, just because Larry Ellison's daughter's company published this game or whatever, or even, you know, provided the financials for it, it's still the developer who made The Artful Escape, a game that a lot of people loved. Why are they attacking it so much? It's the same guy, and he's making a game, and I don't think it's supposed to be Again, I'll go back to what I said earlier. I think this game has gotten a lot more attention than it deserves. And I'm talking both for the hate and the positivity. I think it's just wild that people are still pushing this game in the news cycles. It's just weird to me. But yeah, who cares what people are, giving it as a score? Like, I don't care.
Yeah, and the whole Annapurna thing, like they're just a publisher. They all do this, right? Everybody pays to get games. So, and they've had some pretty large, well-known games. So I don't know why somehow now Annapurna is bad because they've made one game. Like this whole thing is just
how is this?
amazing.
Okay, I want to ask the people in the chat that keep bringing up like follow the money. Oh, it's there's politics involved. Where are the politics in this game? Where are the politics? Mind you, I didn't play it, but what are you guys even? Here's what I think. I think a lot of you are listening to your favorite streamer or content creator out there that does a lot of anti-woke stuff, and they just had to jump on this one because of who's involved in the publishing, area. And I think that because a lot of your talking points is a lot of what I've heard from these people. Everything from calling it AstroTurf slop to DEI slop to, there's got to be some sort of big conspiracy behind this game. And it's just like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it in the story. I don't see it in the dialogue. I don't see it in the characters. I don't know what you guys are on about at all. And I've heard some crazy freaking conspiracies on freaking some of these videos. It's really weird.
Just to give you an idea of some of the games they've done, right? Like these are all well recognized. There's a lot of well recognized games here, guys. Like I don't know why we're piling on this publisher now. I don't know. So.
Oh wait, they did.
Everybody
Outer
should play
Wilds?
12 minutes.
Yeah.
That game is fantastic.
Outer Wilds,
Oh,
Gone
so
Home,
all
What
these
Remains of
games that
Edith
people
Finch,
did love.
Flower,
Yeah, Journey's in there.
Journey, right? And
Oh, you guys have to hate Journey now. Journey can't be
Right?
loved anymore.
So good.
Oh my God, you guys!
12 minutes.
Where's
there's
the
so many.
conspiracy with all these games? Where's it at?
Stray, remember Stray, guys? That exclusive to PlayStation. Like, yeah.
Stop listening to weirdos on YouTube that are just making slop
There's
for
so
videos
many.
for clickbait. It's ridiculous
So-
what you guys will listen to. And I'm a conspiracy guy. I love a good conspiracy. I love a good conspiracy. This ain't it.
So-
This is weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
This is fucking
I
weird.
generally like when I see Annapurna, I'm like, oh, this could be good. Like I generally like this. So they've put out some pretty good games. So
I can't believe they did all those
Whatever.
games that were heralded. And
Yeah.
and I
Well,
don't
they're
see any of
published.
these freaking, and I'm going to
They're
call them like they are, grifters on YouTube
Yeah.
making clickbait negative videos all the time. I don't see these guys talking about all those games that we just showed on that list. Where's the hate for it? Where's the
It was
conspiracy?
an industry plant by the cat overlords. Yeah.
They were all slop. That was just nothing but slop. Some of those even being high 90 Metacritic slop games. Gosh, serve exactly. Everything's got to be slop. Oh my God, this was done by this person, or this person published this game. Oh, automatically DEI slop. It's garbage. Like, get over yourselves. It's so bad.
Well, okay, hold on. Right there. That's, I mean, in all honesty, this chat is
Wow.
exactly what's going on. All this controversy
Well-
kind of makes me want to play it. They don't mind the
and that's what
controversy
happens.
because they've made
Yeah.
way more sales. So
100%.
you never
That's-
know.
that's
They
the
could have
irony in it.
planted all of this themselves.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know about that.
All those
I'm
big YouTubers out there that are grifting
Imagine.
and always negative clickbait, they do this because they want you to actually play the game. They want you to play it
Fonz,
or
who is
watch a
funding you?
streamer play it.
That's
You
right.
see what's happening? I'm funded by the gay frogs.
He paid me to
Okay?
come on here.
That's who I'm.
Opposite opinion.
That's who
of
I'm funded by the gay frogs. They love my show, and I love them. Anyways, I I love a good conspiracy, but this ain't it. This is really weird. I mean, I honestly want you guys to listen to these people talk when they talk about this game, this particular game even, because they never really talk about the story or the substance of the game alone. It's just always like, oh, it's fake nostalgia.
Trash.
This stuff never really happened. Nobody TP'd houses back in the day. I fucking TP'd so many houses when I was a teenager, egged houses, freaking even threw rotten mangoes at a house once. I did a lot of weird shit when I was a teenager. Yes, and had adults buy us beer. It happened. This kind of stuff. Oh, and did I go down the hill in a shopping cart? Fuck yes, I did. It happened. Because that's another thing. I've seen people say, none of this ever happened. This is all just from TV and movies, from nostalgia from the 80s. And I'm like, because it fucking happened in the 80s. I lived it. I was there. Anyways. No, I just hated the kid that lived in this one house.
As a kid.
Magnum, there was this kid that none of us in the neighborhood liked. He was a bully. He was an asshole. So we used to freaking do shit to his house all the time. Fuck that kid. To this day.
Wow. I don't know about that.
I like legendary drops, but I do think that he goes overboard with it. And I've argued with him in his chat live with him. So yeah, Dorian Gray. I do argue with him on this stuff. And I did argue with him about Mixtape because he was one of the ones stating that this stuff never happened. The teenagers didn't TP houses. They didn't have adults buy them beer. And I said, yes, the fuck we did. And so did a lot of other people in this chat. So yeah. And Ian's a good friend of mine, but yeah, I do argue with him about this stuff.
Bazinga.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I really want to see gamers be more smart about, looking into the games for themselves rather than listening to other people all the time, especially a lot of the people that do nothing but clickbait on YouTube and Twitter and stuff. Like they're doing this so you freaking watch their videos or listen to them speak. They're making money off of you. And yeah, negativity sells. It sells a lot more than positivity. That's why you don't see gaming channels out there just always positive. It just doesn't work. You can't make a gaming channel like that. You can't make any channel with just pure positivity. It just doesn't work in most scenarios. Just doesn't. Yeah, there's things that I can't say as a teenager too, but you know what? Yeah, things happened. Things happened.
And on that note,
yep, we're going to wrap it up here. I appreciate everybody for watching. Hargeet, let everybody know where they can find you and what podcast you're going to be on next.
Sure. So you can find me on my channel. It's HargyChani1. If you want to pick up my merch, shop.chani.us. I've got the Make Xbox Great Again. If you want it, it's available. If you pick it up. And then I'll be on with Boom tomorrow, 7 p.m. US Eastern Time, Double Barrel Gaming, and then with C-Money and Doodle on Friday at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time on Point for Gamers, and with Web Dave on Sunday at 7 p.m. US Eastern Time. There's Web Dave. He's right there.
There he is.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, I'm not buying any beer for teenagers. I don't do that at all. Never.
Anyway, so yeah, and we'll see what happens next week. I guess I'm sure there's just gonna be more and more news. Did you hear about the Discord thing that actually came out? Like the Discord now with Xbox. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Holly, where can they find you next? And what are you up to?
I don't really know what I'm up to. But if you want to follow me, you can go to my channel. Probably click on my name and you can get there. I do videos, not as often as I should, but I do videos, and I do live stream.
More. Do more.
Need to do more. I struggle with what to actually do them on, which is my problem. But I do love making videos. It's actually fun. Anyway, that's pretty much it. And thank you guys. Thanks, chat, for
thank you.
Being very interactive with us.
Yeah, no, they've been very active. That's cool to see. One here from Muffins. Fawns, aren't you giving the haters what they want by giving their irrational anger all this attention? Actually, I'm not giving them any attention because I'm not mentioning who the fuck they are, and I won't because I don't want you to go watch them. I think they're terrible. Anyways, at Jimmy Mac 88 with the 2 says Jenny Godspeed is behind, or Goodspeed. Jenny Goodspeed is behind Mixtape Hate Mob. Who's Jenny Goodspeed? I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't even know.
You guys
the other
ones?
Typical grifters. I didn't see the other ones.
This one?
Mixtape characters are hipsters, incels. Hate that. I'm sorry to say, and I'm not the incel part because I don't know. I don't think that's a part of the story in Mixtape, but hipsters, sure, that was a thing.
And then we got another one.
Jimmy Mac 88 for 5 says, thank you very much. The community is being gaslit by influencers that were pissed certain games didn't get a 10 out of 10, and Mixtape did from IGN. Honestly, it's pretty childish. I agree to it. Yeah, I agree. That has a lot to do with it. It's crazy. And some people do get upset that, if a Game Pass game does well too. I've seen that as well. It's weird.
That's right. I am on Web Dave this Sunday. I'm sorry, Dave. Sorry, Arc Dave. Right. My apologies.
Yeah, you are on Dave's show because I heard that the other day. He mentioned you were going to be on his show.
Thank you, Dave. I'll send you my schedule so you can remind me when I need it.
So Jenny Goodspeed was a character in Mixtape. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for showing up live and listening to my rant about Mixtape and me and Holly going back and forth a bit on Mixtape. But it's all love at the end of the day. Holly's a great friend. We don't hate each other over Mixtape, and neither do we hate anybody that likes it or dislikes it. But at the end of the day, just keep the attacks to yourselves. Like, stop attacking people about liking things. Who cares if people are having fun? And until next time, game on.